Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to KrabsFx. This is episode 19 of Backtesting an hour per day. Right now, we're on February 20th, 2024. We got no news here. Account sitting at 3.5% profit. But yeah, let's see what we could do here. We're going to take A+ setups and hopefully grow this a little bit. But yeah, let's hop on the daily. Looks like daily here, not inversing any major gaps, so that doesn't tell us too much. Here on the 4 hour, looks like we inverse this 4 hour gap to the downside. So my bias here based on this 4 hour is pretty bearish, because we inversed this 4 hour gap right here with this candle closed below, and we're respecting it. But actually I'm gonna draw out this gap right here. It's pretty obvious, just so that I can see if we tap back into this zone, I could see if we get a reaction off of it. But yeah, no other major gaps. I mean, I can draw out this one. It's pretty far down, but I'm gonna draw it out anyway. Let's hop on the 1 hour here. Gonna mark up some levels I'm interested in. Looks like up here we got liquidity above there. Don't see any major like equal highs or lows. I mean, these are kind of relative, but not really. This low right here, is this it's not London low or anything. Right here we got a pretty significant low. If we could sweep this high up here and then react off this 4 hour, we could get a setup to the downside. Like I said before, my bias is pretty bearish. I'm expecting us to go at least to this low, hopefully, if my higher time frame narrative is correct, because we inversed this 4 hour here with strong momentum displacing down. We close below here, break structure downside. So ideally I want to see price continue back down, but let's see what any fair value gaps here. Not any major ones I'm looking at right now. On the 15-minute, not much I'm looking at. I mean, we do have a 15-minute gap up here that we've been holding. And we also got a 15-minute gap right here that we've also been holding. So I'm gonna just mark these up to keep them in mind. But yeah, let's see the 5-minute here. We're just chopping up right now. There is no news, so it could be a bit of a slower day, but let's see what market open does. But like I said before, ideally I want to see some shorts. So now we just reacted off this 4 hour. We didn't take out this high though, but we did take out liquidity here. There is a pretty obvious 1-minute gap here, but there's like two in the same leg, so I'm not gonna take an entry off of that. We do have this 2-minute gap here I'm looking at. Close below there. No entry for my short yet, but yeah, I could still see us continuing back down. And target target hit right there. So even though I had no entry on this short, I'm gonna just go over why I had that target over here on the 4 hour, we had this 4 hour inverse fair value gap right there. So when that inversed, it told me that price wanted to go to the next internal higher low, which is right here, and then we closed below that. So I expected price to draw towards the next internal low, or not internal, external low, which was right here. So now we could react off of here, possibly get a bullish setup, but let's see the 1 hour here. We gotta wait for some structure to form before we take anything. Let's see, I'm gonna mark out this 15-minute gap. We also we reacted off this 4 hour PD array very nicely here. But yeah, target was met here, so we could look for a buy possibly, but only if it's like a very obvious setup. Something like this, but we are very low. I'm gonna draw out this 15-minute gap because it looks like we are reacting off of it. Drawing this out is about to be tough, but looks like we got this gap right here. It is very far away, but I just want to see if that's what we're holding right now. Very old 15-minute gap, so yeah, nah. So yeah, I'm not gonna take this long just because it's like we didn't really sweep anything, but let's see if this plays out, if price can reach this high right there. And there it is. I just didn't like this setup because we didn't really take anything out. We weren't reacting off of a fair value gap or delivering from it, so I just didn't have confidence in that. It did play out nice though here. But now I'd like a nice short setup. Let's see, we took out all these highs. If we could tap into this 15-minute gap up here and get a short off of that, that would be very nice. I would take that. But pretty much I'm trying to be more selective now of which like setups I take, because like we went over analytics in the last video and the win rate was not the highest, so, and that's because I was taking like not all the best setups. But yeah, now I'm gonna wait, be more patient. I still want to see us tap into this. Alright, so now it is 11:20, so we're gonna skip to the next day. Next day. Daily close very bullish, or bearish, I mean. 4 hour, we're still melting. We are inside of this 4 hour gap right now. So I'm gonna just note that this is like the 4 hour, or I'm right, 4 hour for a value gap fill. Just because price could react after filling in that 4 hour gap possibly. So yeah, like to have that marked out. On the 1 hour, we're gonna mark out some highs here that could give reactions. Right there. Looks like we did take out this hourly low, and then we we took out the hourly low before. And what was that? Looks like it was yesterday, but took out the hourly low, had a reaction up off of that, and then we inversed. Actually, we didn't have a fair value gap there, but yeah, on the 1 hour, looks like we're holding this 1 hour gap. We also got gap right here. But yeah, below, let's see, is there anything? Not really looking at much. Let's check the 15-minute, see if we got any major fair value gaps. Not really, but we do have this one. We're just gonna mark it up just to keep it in mind. And yeah, this gap right here is way too small, so I'm not gonna be using that. Here we got a little 5-minute gap. But yeah, let's hop on the 1 minute, see what market opens doing. Looks like we took out these lows here, pre-market lows. Let's see what's buys here. Most likely still bearish, just because the 4 hour is still showing we could possibly wanna come back down for these 4 hour lows or to fill this 4 hour gap. And daily closure is very bearish. Displacement to the downside, close below here. And let's see, I do like this for a short, but let's see if there's any news here. The 21st. Yeah, so this is FOMC day. So sketchy day. If I take like one win, I'm done. And 1 L, I'm probably done for that day because FOMC. Pretty big news event. But yeah, on the 2 minute here. Alright, we're gonna take this. It looks like we are delivering off of this 5-minute gap, and we also are delivering off of this 15-minute gap in the hourly, I believe. Yeah. But yeah, pretty solid setup. So if this loses, it's all good. It's worth the risk. We're delivering off the 1 hour gap. Took out liquidity here. But are these equal highs here? Let's see. They are equal highs, but they're not like the most significant equal highs. But yeah, I'm gonna move to break even pretty aggressive. And yeah, stopped out. Let's see if it wants to go for the equal highs. Yeah, we're just chopping up here, so very choppy here. And we could take this. I know I said I'll take like, if I took 1L on FOMC, I'm done, but this is a nice setup. Took out liquidity. 1 minute inversion. We should at least reach for these highs right here. We're gonna run a bit of a tighter stop here, just below that 1 minute inverse gap. Let's see here. Pretty choppy here right now. Set our break even level. Risk free here and break even hit. Equal highs left behind. And equal highs rated there. And yeah, I'd be done for this day. So 1 loss, 1 break even. Unfortunately, we couldn't reach up for these highs here. But yeah. Daily here. Let me just get rid of. Not sure why the 30 minutes there. I don't really use that. But yeah, daily close bullish. Let's see what the 4 hour did. Looks like we inverse this 4 hour gap. We are inside of a gap right now in the 4 hour. Looks like it did show some rejection here off this 4 hour gap. In the 1 hour, looks like we're struggling here at this 4 hour fair value gap. But right here we got an hourly gap. But like based on this, I'm pretty bearish because we're showing rejection off this 4 hour. But I mean, momentum right now, like we did inverse all these, like inverse this gap here on the 4 hour. But target here was met. Could see a sell off now possibly. But yeah, let me mark up some highs and lows that we could use for nice liquidity sweeps. On a 15-minute, actually, was there any hourly fair value apps? I see one right here. That's pretty much it. 15-minute is just chopping up here to 22nd. 9:45 a.m. news. But yeah, let's see what we can do here. It's like we took out all that liquidity. We're just chopping up. I'm probably wait until 9:45 right now because of the news. And there's the news candle. Let's wait for a clear liquidity sweep. Price is very choppy here. There is this pretty obvious 1 minute gap here. Let's see, is that? It's also a 2 minute, also a 3 minute, also a 4 minute, and a 5 minute. So I won't be taking that. But now we do have this 5 minute short. 5 minute, if we close below, TP1 is going to be right here. At this internal low. And let me set that as set that as my break-even level right there. Right here, my internal low, 17. Auto break-even at 17.9, 19.25. And there we go. We're gonna take something off here. Let's see. This was based on the 5 minute. We had a 5 minute closure below here. TP1 at this internal low. So we're gonna close like a good amount. But let's see the 5 minute. This does look like a nice sell model. If I draw out my fancy curve here, let me see, where's it at? But pretty much it looks like a, where's this tool? It's like the curve. Hold up, I'm gonna pause this 1 sec. Right here. So this looks like the buy side of the curve, and if you're wondering what I'm referring to a market maker buy and sell model. Pretty much here was accumulation, we had the distribution, and then we have a 1 hour fair value gap that we're using as the higher time frame PD array, and then I'm expecting price to come back to that low where the model started at. But we're gonna secure like 50% here and leave the rest to run. We are risk free now as well. As we sweep these lows, I'm also going to take another partial. So let's take off like small percent. So right now we have 50% running. Let's secure 20% here. And then leave the rest to run. So now if we get hit for break even, it's all good. Yeah, there we go, because we still secured something at this low here. But yeah, let's just see if we fully deliver down to this low now, because that's ideally what I want to see. And yeah, nah. So yeah, 1W, I'd be done there. On to the next day. Hopping on the daily here. Very bullish, it looks like. Is this all-time highs here? Could be. Yes, looks like we're at all-time highs almost. On the daily, doesn't tell us too much other than we're very bullish. 4 hour here is telling me we're very bullish as well. Inverse this 4 hour gap right here, closed above. But yeah, it looks like we're about to take out this high right there. I'm gonna mark out this 4 hour gap here so that we can keep it in mind. It looks like that's what we delivered here off of. Yeah, 1 hour. Very bullish. So we're at all-time highs. Ideally, I want like only buys here. No reason to sell yet. But yeah, that's the high swept. We're at all-time highs. Chopping up here. Let's see, 23rd. It's a Friday. No news. Ideally, I'll take a buy back up if I get one. Let's see, is this a 2 minute? Close at 9:52. Yeah, so I'll take this 2 minute. We're delivering off this gap here. 5 minute. 5 minute did inverse to the downside, so that could show that we want to retrace a little bit, so I won't be taking the long right now. But yeah, let's see if this plays out, this 2 minute here. I want to see it go to this high, but I'm not taking it since we had this 5 minute gap here. Inverse, and we closed below here, so that means we could see a short-term sell-off. So I'm not gonna take the long, but yeah, let's watch this. And yeah, that's why I didn't take that, because we had that 5 minute inversion. Very volatile here. Pretty obvious 1 minute. Close above. Three-minute here. We're delivering off this 3 minute. Let's see if we can get a short setup. See, 15 minute also inversed, 15 minute inversed this 15 minute gap there, but we're also inside of a 15 right now. Looks like we have this 1 hour gap. We do have a short setup, but it is pretty weak momentum. Let's see, is there delivering nice off this 3 minute. Make sure we're not inside anything. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the short here. $15-point stop above here. Just target 101 like that. Oh, we pushed into profits and now we're struggling here. Yeah. So we inversed this with pretty weak momentum. We were kind of chopping up. So Not the best thing to see, but yeah, pretty tough. We did close above this 1 minute though, after sweeping liquidity here. See if this long is valid. Stop below the gap, and let's see if we could take that to the high, and we do not. Very choppy here. 2 L's done for the day. Next day here, daily gap. Daily gap right here. 4 hour. Pretty bullish. Some lows here marking up. And let's see if, looks like we're in this 1 hour gap. If we close above that, that'll give us a nice bias to be bullish on the 1 hour. But yeah, 15 minute. Looks like we delivered off this 1 hour gap. 15 minute here. It's like, did we deliver? Let's clean up this chart a little bit. And looks like we swept this liquidity above here. Very choppy here. Monday 26. 10 a.m. news. Just gonna wait for news here. See how that 1 hour closed. Closed bearish. Looks like we rejected this, so we're pretty bearish right now based on that. But we're kind of bouncing in between these two 1 hour gaps. Nothing's too obvious here. I mean, just waiting for a liquidity sweep. They closed below this, but not really delivering off of anything. And yeah, very choppy price action. Yeah, I would be done trading after seeing this. So yeah, on to the next day. daily here is, got this daily gap right here. Look pretty bullish here. We got this gap that we're delivering from on the daily, on the 4 hour. Looks like we're chopping up on the 4 hour, but we did inverse. Yeah, that's not a gap. But yeah, let's see the 1 hour here. One hour here, we got this gap here. Very choppy. Again, we're gonna wait a little bit. Let's see the 27th. Like the past few days have been pretty choppy, honestly. Or like not really here, but let's see if we can get a good setup, good solid setup, nice liquidity sweep or something, delivery off of a fair value app. Yeah, still no setups. I mean, we do have this. It is pretty choppy, but I'm gonna take it just because we haven't taken a trade in like 2 days. And we took out this liquidity. We're delivering off this gap here. Take a long here up to these highs right there. This will be tight stop below right there. Set break even to right here, 0.6 R. Risk free now. And we did take out these new internal highs, so we're gonna close like a tiny amount here just to secure something. Yeah, hit break even, so. Took out this high right here. 1 minute here, did not inverse, did we? Yeah, we didn't inverse that. Did we inverse this 1 hour gap, or are we holding it? We did not inverse it, so I'm bullish here. See if we can take a long up to these highs. Got this inverse right here. After we took out this liquidity below there. I would move to break even at this high. 0.7 R. New break even is gonna be when we hit these internal highs, and yeah, we got hit for break even. And yeah, that's that. Here's a nice sweep. Let's see, is this a 2 minute? We have this 1 minute here. Nice displacement, nice liquidity sweep. Let's try this long here. To the upside. This is probably last trade of the day, because we took like 1,000,000 trades. And yeah, there we go. 2 break evens, 1 W. On to the next. Daily here, pretty bullish. 4 hour. Can draw this 4 hour gap. If we tap into it, we're gonna see if we like react off of it, or if we stay above it, or if we inverse it to the downside. So that's something I'm gonna keep in mind. Right here, I'm just mark out. Looks like we swept this high right there. Pretty significant. Could see price go back down, maybe tap into this 4 hour gap, and maybe go for these lows down here to sweep those. But yeah, just marking out some levels like before that price could react off of. And let's see, this is a Wednesday, the 28th. We got not really any news that I'm worried about, but we do have this 1 hour fair value gap right here. We're holding this 15-minute gap, so you can see we keep bouncing off of it. But yeah, 5 minute. Let's see if we inverse this 5 minute gap. Let's see, time right now is 9:30 a.m. Nice sweep here, sell off, no entry. Let's see the 5 minute. This is 35 right now. So we did inverse this 5 minute gap right here. I believe we did. Did this candle close though? 35. Not yet. So we didn't inverse it yet, but let's see. Four minutes, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so we inverse this 5 minute. So short term, I'm pretty bullish. We are chopping up right now. I know you hear me say that we're chopping up a lot. It's because we are. Like when there's wicks like this, it's very choppy. Like doji candles, very choppy. Not the best conditions when it's like chopped like that, but Let's see what price wants to do. Nice liquidity sweep. Looks like we're holding this gap, so swept this high, holding this gap. We're gonna try a short down to this 4-hour gap and this liquidity here. Yeah, I think we could be targeting the lows right here on the hourly. But yeah, let's try this. We're delivering off this gap, and there's a pretty small 1 minute gap here. But we're gonna try it, and we're gonna move to break even and probably scale something off right here at 0.75 R. And stopped there. See if we can get a re-entry. It looks like swept liquidity again. We closed below. Let's try re-entry on that because I still like those lows. I'm gonna move to break even right here. This internal low, 0.65 R. What? That's very messed up, but not sure why it says that. 0.65 R. We moved to break even. Not sure why I can't enter here, but it's like bugging out. Something is messed up. I'm not sure what though. Hold up. So stopped out of that here, and almost 10:08 a.m. So let's see if there's gonna be anything else. Pretty tough backtesting session here, honestly, but it is what it is. We're gonna take this inverse here. Let me just make sure higher time frames are aligned. We did not inverse that 5 minute liquidity sweep. 1 minute inverse here. Small 1 minute, but it is a 1 minute. Let's see. Looks pretty clean. Let's see the higher time frames. Do see this retracing pretty nice. Probably move TP1 right there. We're gonna run like stops above here. And looking to retrace this whole move. But gonna move to break even right here at this low at 0.6 R. And stopped out again. So on to the next day. Daily here, closing bearish. 4 hour. Looks like we are holding this 4 hour gap here. The 1 hour, we inversed all of this, so I'm very bullish right now. We did take out that high. We are in a 1 hour gap right now as well. See if there's any news the 29th. 9:45 and 10 a.m. news. 10 a.m. news did like nothing here. Yeah, orange folder, so that's why. Took liquidity now. See if we're delivering off some gap here. 15-minute. This 5-minute inverse to the downside, so that's making me pretty bearish here short term. But now we are holding this 1 minute here. But yeah, there was a little long setup here I didn't take because I had that 1 minute. We had that 5-minute inversion here to the downside, so seeing sells right now would make the most sense. Left equal highs above. I'm gonna skip over next day. Daily's very bullish, 4 hour. Marking out my highs and lows here. This is also London low. We're inside of a hourly gap right here. We also have 5-minute gap here. This 1 minute does look clean, but we do have another gap in the leg. So we're gonna move to break even at this leg here. See how this plays. But we're also inside of a 5 minute, so I'm not gonna take it. Yeah. This long does look clean though. We swept liquidity, close above here. We should at least reach for these highs right here. 10-point stops. Let's see if we got our 1-to-1 here. And stopped out again. Let's see, Friday was there news here. 10 a.m. news. We just chopped before news. Looking at this 1 minute, I like the displacement. Technically swept this high. This doesn't look bad. There is a 15-minute gap here. Trying to go break even before that. 0.6 R. There we go, risk free. Would have scaled at, did we hit 101? Yeah, we hit 101, I believe, almost. So I would have scaled a little bit at this low, so I'm gonna just scale a tiny amount and leave this runner. Runner hit break even. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video there. Pretty tough backtesting session. I think I might backtest more in a little bit. But yeah, let's go on to the analytics here. That was probably the worst backtesting session so far, but yeah, pretty tough. Like 50% win rate. We're at like 77 trades right now, and we're down 1.5%. Let's look at this. Winning day, losing day. Yeah, so I limited myself to max 2 losses per day, but here I lost 3. Alright, yeah, so pretty mid session. I'm gonna be doing another one later. It's gonna be a separate video, but yeah, I'm about to go study a little bit, some more of the strategy of, if you guys don't know what I'm studying, it's a Dodgy's strategy, if you guys know who that is. But yeah, I'm trying to get better at it. Let's see my best days here. Looks like Tuesdays were very good. Tuesdays and Thursdays were my best day. That's good to know though. 80% win rate on Thursdays, 88% win rate on Tuesdays. That's very interesting, very interesting. So if I didn't even trade Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that means I'll be up a good amount here. But yeah, 11 trades, 80, almost 90% win rate. But yeah, all pretty tough. Average RR is like a 1. Let's see, what was the max losing streak? About like 2. Oh, 4. Alright, yeah, but that's the analytics. Pretty tough session here, but make sure to like, comment, subscribe, guys. We're trying to get to 500 subs. We're like halfway there, so if you subscribe, it really helps me out and stay on my own journey. And also soon I'm going to start documenting my prop firm journey to getting funded. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to join my Discord if you're not in there yet. Link is in my description. And until next time, guys, peace.